Real stuff you need to know before you move to Stuart, Florida. And make sure you stick around to the end, and I will give you the most important thing that you must know before you move here. Now, you can Google things about moving to Stuart, Florida, and you'll find some fantastic lists out there, but let's be honest, a lot of those lists are filled with fluff and not a lot of real stuff to get you to move here. Now, I live here and I love it here, and it is a wonderful place, but there are some real things that you must know before you move here. The first thing is snowbird season. Now, no, I'm not talking about winged creatures that come down here. I'm talking about our northern friends that come down here during the winter months to stay out of the cold. Now, a lot of people call them winter visitors, but we here in Martin County and in Stuart, Florida, we all call them snowbirds. And there are some very, very good things about them coming here, but it also changes the dynamic here a little bit too. They're fantastic for our economy. We love to have them here. A lot of our local shops, the boutiques that we have in downtown Stuart, and a lot of our restaurants, they go up. In fact, a lot of places here count on our snowbird season to make it through for the entire year. So they're great for our economy. That's a great thing. However, traffic, when the snowbirds come down here, traffic becomes kind of a problem. You know, a 15-minute drive will normally take you 15 minutes, now can take 30, sometimes 40 minutes because of the congestion and just the influx of people. Another thing, restaurants. You go to restaurants on a Friday night, out of season when they're not here, you might wait 5, 10, 15 minutes max. When snowbird season here, it is very, very common for you to wait over an hour if you can even get in, and sometimes you can't get in without reservations at all. So, and sometimes people's mood changes because snowbirds have a tendency to drive a little bit slower than us locals here, and so you hear a lot more horns on the in driving in traffic. But we love our snowbirds, but it is definitely something that you have to consider, that we have a very, very serious snowbird season from about October through April. And there's a saying that us locals say here is that we can always tell when the weather is changing, not by the color of the trees changing, but by the color of the license plate changing, because our snowbirds are here. The second thing is home prices. Now listen, I'm a real estate agent and I love selling houses here, but I do see a lot of times people, when they come and they move here, they get sticker shock within the Stuart area or Martin County area. You know, at the time of this recording, our median home price was about $450,000. Now, if you're coming from a big area, like a big city, New York, New Jersey, California, something along those lines, it's not so much of a sticker shock. And as a matter of fact, it's a pleasure probably to come here and see those home prices. But if you're coming from a different area, $450,000 is a lot of money, is an awful lot of money. So people want to come here and move to the paradise that we have here, but you have to be prepared that the home prices are going to be higher, probably higher than what you're used to, which forces you to look at certain areas out there. But a normal home out here that's probably a 3-bed, 2-bath, 2,000 square foot house with a pool is right around $450,000. You can find homes cheaper, absolutely, but typically those homes are going to have probably quite extensive work that's going to need to be done as far as upgrades in the kitchen, bathroom, so forth and so on. Maybe a new roof, new AC. So there's going to be an offsetting thing with there by doing the amount of work that you need to do. So home prices here are a little bit more expensive than what you would think. The third thing that you need to consider is where to live. Now listen, the last one we talked about were home prices, and due to the home prices here in Martin County or in Stuart, you're going to be forced to sometimes maybe look somewhere else. Now, one of the places that's close by is St. Lucie County. It's Port St. Lucie, which is a great place to live as well, but there are some problems with that as well. So the home prices, the average home price or the median home price in Port St. Lucie is $240,000 as the time of this shooting, whereas in Martin County it was $450,000. So it's quite a bit cheaper. However, the caveat to that, or the downside to that, is that the taxes in Port St. Lucie are quite a bit higher than they are here in Martin County. Now also, if you look at an aerial view of the map and you look at Port St. Lucie versus Stuart, you will see that Stuart is kind of open a little bit and Port St. Lucie is very, very congested. There's quite a few people, not crammed, I don't want to say crammed, but there's quite a few people put in a relatively small area. And just like any other big city, you're going to have your areas that are super, super nice, and then you're going to have your areas that aren't so nice, which is typical that you get in any situation, in any city for that matter. But there's not a lot of continuity in Port St. Lucie. So in Martin County, there's a lot of developments where they're gated communities, and even the non-gated communities have a lot of, maybe it's the same builder, whereas in Port St. Lucie, on one street you might have a D.R. Horton house, and on another street you might have a Mercedes home, and on the next door neighbor is a Mercedes home. And there's not a lot of continuity continuity. You might have one person that keeps beautiful care of their lawn and their house looks spectacular, and then the house next door is not the best either. So keep in mind when moving here, if there's the sticker shock of the home prices, you might have to look outside the area other than Stuart, Florida. Now the fourth thing is the weather. Now listen. I moved to Florida 11 years ago because I love the weather here. I love the tropics. I love the beach. I love the water. But I'm going to be very honest with you. July, August, and September suck bad. It is extremely hot. It is very, very humid. And it literally is like when you take a shower and you walk outside, you feel like you didn't take a shower because you are so incredibly sweaty and hot. Now, there's things that offset with this, of course. We live right on the coast. You will see that we get these constant coastal breezes, which are absolutely wonderful. However, the average temperature in the summer is about 90 degrees and we have about 92% humidity. Now, what I tell a lot of people is that you typically go from an air-conditioned car to an air-conditioned house to an air-conditioned office to an air-conditioned grocery store, so it's not all that bad. However, the summers can be downright miserable because it is so incredibly hot, which is why so many people want to buy a home with a pool. And when you look in Martin County, that's one of the reasons why those property values go up so high, because a lot of the homes in Stuart do have pools because of the summer months and of the heat. Now, we can't talk about the summer and we can't talk about Florida weather if we do not talk about hurricanes. Now, listen, a lot of times with people, they look at hurricanes and they think, oh my gosh, that's horrible. I will never move to Florida because it's a hurricane. Now, listen, they're bad. I've been through many hurricanes. But what I always tell people is don't watch the news. When you see the hurricanes and they talk about 150 miles an hour, they are literally talking about the little eye and maybe 30 miles outside. Now, hurricane storms are massive. They're huge, and there have been people that have been devastated by hurricanes, and for that, my heart and prayers go out to everyone that has ever had a bad effect through hurricanes, including myself. I went through 2004 with Hurricane Jean and Hurricane Francis, and it was not fun. However, when you look at a major hurricane, when it hits, here is the eye, and you go out about 30 miles, and those winds, that's where the winds are the strongest. Now, a storm might be this big, and it might encompass the entire state, but as it gets away further and further, those winds dissipate quite a bit. And as a matter of fact, Hurricane Matthew, I believe, came through a couple years ago, and it's the one that demolished the Bahamas. It came as a Category 5, I think it was Matthew, that was a Category 5 that hit, and it just stopped. It just parked over the Bahamas. Now, it was supposed to keep tracking. Here's Stuart, Florida. It was supposed to keep tracking through here, but we, for whatever reason, got a bump, and it went north. Now, this storm wasn't that far off our coast. It wasn't that far off our coast, but it did take this northern turn, and here at my house in Jensen Beach, we only experienced winds of maybe about 75 to 80 mile an hour. That's with the gusts. So it was, don't get me wrong, it was not the best, but you got to pay attention to where that eye is and where that eye is hitting. Before we go on, you guys, do me a favor, please. If you're getting value out of this video, if you like this video, give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe to my channel. It is a great way for me to grow my channel, and I truly appreciate every like, subscribe, and comment that I get. So thank you very much. So you've made it this far, and I told you I would tell you the number one thing that you must know about moving here, and it is the culture. And let me tell you something, everybody. The culture here is absolutely incredible. Let me tell you a quick story. I lived up in Merritt Island for a few years, and I moved back to Denver. I'm originally from Denver, Colorado. I moved back to Denver, and my wife and I literally spent 14 months researching the state. We knew we were going to come back to Florida, but we literally researched the state for 14 months. And when I say research the state, I mean from the Panhandle down to Key West. And we literally kept coming back to Stuart. I kept coming back to this area because of all the great things that are here. Great schools, great fishing, great waterfront restaurants, everything here, great golf. Everything here is literally paradise. And as a matter of fact, I have a sign up by my pool that says, "We live where you vacation," and it is so incredibly true. Take a walk down historic downtown Stuart and pop into a shop like Radiant Outfitters with the great owners named Chris and Judy. Walk down every Thursday night in Jensen Beach, down in downtown Jensen Beach. They have Jam and Jensen, where they have all these local vendors and music, and it's a fantastic time for the family to go out there and support a lot of these local businesses. Head on over to Bunkhouse Coffee Bar in Jensen Beach, right that's close to downtown Stuart, and have yourself a smoothie bowl and a cup of coffee. The culture here is so incredibly amazing, and it is the main reason why I decided to move here and why I still live here to this day. As always, my name is Chris Thiel. I'm a local real estate agent, and if you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, and comment. And if you like the video, I got a couple more videos for you right here too. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.